Hello everyone, in this video I'm going to talk about the concept of a stem and leaf plot. So we can use a stem and leaf plot to organize data, but what is a stem and leaf plot? A stem and leaf plot is a display of data made by using the digits of the values. In order to make a stem and leaf plot, we're going to separate each number into a stem and a leaf, and we'll have a vertical bar representing what's a stem and what's a leaf. So here's an example of a stem and a leaf plot using just one number. I have 1.5 here. This represents the stem of my number. Here's that vertical bar, and then here's my leaf. This represents the number 1.54. This is the stem and leaf for the number 1.54. Now, not all stem and leaf plots will use decimals. Occasionally, there's going to be some sort of legend or a key at the very bottom of your stem and leaf plot indicating what one number will look like if we were dealing with just whole numbers, or if in that last example we were using decimals. So here's another example. If I had 6, 7, 8. All the numbers on the leaf side here will be in order from smallest to largest, and your stems will also be in increasing order going from top to bottom. So here's an example of another stem and leaf plot. I'll use whole numbers for this example. So here my stems are 5, 6, 7, and 8. These are my stems. And then over here on the right side of this vertical bar are all my leaves. So, as I mentioned before briefly, we might have some sort of legend or key indicating what kind of numbers we're dealing with. I don't know if these are whole numbers or decimals, but for an example, I'll say this. 8, 2 means 82. So this is an example of this particular type of stem and leaf plot. So for 5, these numbers in order from left to right respectively are 51, 53, and 57. Moving down to 6, I have 62, 64, and 66. Moving down to the next, I have 71, 73, 74, 75, and 78. The last row is 80, 82, 85, and 89. This is your basic setup for a stem and leaf plot. I'll show you this one too, because sometimes you may have a double stem, or a double leaf in this case. Now in the last example, we had numbers that were just on the right side of our stem and leaf plot, just like this. But here I got numbers on the left side. I have 2 leaves branching out on both sides of my stems. Looking at this first part here, we'll go down and we'll just do a couple of numbers to get the idea. Here I got my stems in order from smallest to largest. If I'm looking at this number here, this is not 91. And we'll just go with the fact to say that 4, 1 means 41. We'll work with whole numbers again. This number here would be 19. So the leaf is on the left side of my stem here. So if this ever occurs, you're going to write that number the other way. So remember, the numbers in this case, in between your vertical bars, are your stems. The numbers on the outside are your leaves. So this would be the number 19. Here we have 20, 23, 23, again, 28, and 29. And lastly, here we have 31 and 34, twice. That takes care of the numbers on this side. Here on this side, we have 27 and 28, and then all these respective numbers, 30, 32, twice, 37, 38 twice, and then 41. This is the general foundation for stem and leaf plots. They're not used too often, but I figured I'd just show you what they look like if you ever come across them and you're told to solve, like finding a mean or finding a mode, finding a range, given a stem and leaf plot, because it can happen, but it's not very common. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you later.